Hello my friends, welcome to the Time Traveler channel. Thank you for being part of this traveling family. This time we introduce you to the beautiful city of Paris. Paris, French pronunciation, about this sound listen, is the capital and most populous city of France, with an estimated population of 2,175,601 residents as of 2018, in an area of more than 105 square miles. Since the 17th century, Paris has been one of Europe's major centers of finance, diplomacy, commerce, fashion, gastronomy, science and arts. The city of Paris is the center and seat of government of the Île-de-France, or Paris region, which has an estimated population of 12,174,880, or about 18% of the population of France as of 2017. The Paris region had a GDP of €709 billion, $808 billion, in 2017. 6. According to the Economist Intelligence Unit Worldwide Cost of Living Survey in 2018, Paris was the second most expensive city in the world, after Singapore, and ahead of Zurich, Hong Kong, Oslo, and Geneva. Another source ranked Paris as most expensive, on a par with Singapore and Hong Kong, in 2018. Paris is a major railway, highway and air transport hub served by two international airports, Paris Charles de Gaulle, the second busiest airport in Europe, and Paris Orly. Opened in 1900, the city's subway system, the Paris Metro, serves 5.23 million passengers daily. It is the second busiest metro system in Europe after the Moscow Metro. Gare du Nord is the 24th busiest railway station in the world, but the first located outside Japan, with 262 million passengers in 2015. Paris is especially known for its museums and architectural landmarks. The Louvre was the most visited art museum in the world in 2019, with 9.6 million visitors. The number of visitors plunged by 72% to 2.7 million visitors in 2020, due to the COVID virus and the drop in the number of foreign visitors, but it remained the most visited art museum in 2020. The Musée d'Orsay, Musée Marmottan-Monet, and Musée de l'Orangerie are noted for their collections of French Impressionist art. The Pompidou Centre Musée National d'Art Moderne has the largest collection of modern and contemporary art in Europe. The Musée Rodin and Musée Picasso exhibit the works of two noted Parisians. The historical district along the Seine in the city center is classified as a UNESCO Heritage Site, and popular landmarks there included the Cathedral of Notre Dame de Paris on the Île de la Cité, now closed for renovation after the April 15, 2019 fire. Other popular tourist sites include the Gothic Royal Chapel of Sainte-Chapelle, also on the Île de la Cité, the Eiffel Tower, constructed for the Paris Universal Exposition of 1889, the Grand Palais and Petit Palais, built for the Paris Universal Exposition of 1900, the Arc de Triomphe on the Champs-Élysées, and the Basilica of Sacré-Cœur on the Hill of Montmartre. Paris received 38 million visitors in 2019, measured by hotel stays, with the largest numbers of foreign visitors coming from the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, and China. It was ranked as the second most visited travel destination in the world in 2019, after Bangkok and just ahead of London. In 2020, however, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, tourism to Paris and its region fell dramatically to 17.5 million visitors, with a 78% drop in foreign tourists measured by hotel stays, and a drop of 56% in French guests, for an overall drop of 68%. The football club Paris Saint-Germain and the rugby union club Stade Français are based in Paris. The 80,000-seat Stade de France, built for the 1998 FIFA World Cup, is located just north of Paris in the neighboring commune of Saint-Denis. Paris hosts the annual French Open Grand Slam tennis tournament on the red clay of Roland Garros. The city hosted the Olympic Games in 1900, 1924 and will host the 2024 Summer Olympics. The 1938 and 1998 FIFA World Cups, the 2007 Rugby World Cup, as well as the 1960, 1984 and 2016 UEFA European Championships were also held in the city. Every July, the Tour de France bicycle race finishes on the Avenue des Champs-Élysées in Paris. The Parisi, a subtribe of the Celtic Seignones, inhabited the Paris area from around the middle of the 3rd century BC. One of the area's major north-south trade routes crossed the Seine on the Île de la Cité. This meeting place of land and water trade routes gradually became an important trading center. The Parisi traded with many river towns, some as far away as the Iberian Peninsula, and minted their own coins for that purpose. Gold coins minted by the Parisi, 1st century BC. The Romans conquered the Paris basin in 52 BC and began their settlement on Paris' left bank. The Roman town was originally called Lutetia, more fully, Lutetia Parisiorum, Lutetia of the Parisi, modern French Lutèce. It became a prosperous city with a forum, baths, temples, theaters, and an amphitheater. By the end of the Western Roman Empire, the town was known as Parisius, a Latin name that would later become Paris in French. Christianity was introduced in the middle of the 3rd century AD by Saint Denis, the first bishop of Paris, according to legend. When he refused to renounce his faith before the Roman occupiers, he was beheaded on the hill which became known as Mons Martyrum, Latin Hill of Martyrs, later Montmartre, from where he walked headless to the north of the city. The place where he fell and was buried became an important religious shrine, the Basilica of Saint-Denis, and many French kings are buried there. Clovis the Frank, the first king of the Merovingian dynasty, made the city his capital from 508. As the Frankish domination of Gaul began, there was a gradual immigration by the Franks to Paris and the Parisian Francian dialects were born. Fortification of the Île de la Cité failed to avert sacking by Vikings in 845, but Paris' strategic importance, with its bridges preventing ships from passing, was established by successful defense in the Siege of Paris, 885–86, for which the then Count of Paris, Comte de Paris, Odo of France, was elected King of West Francia. From the Capetian dynasty that began with the 987 election of Hugh Capet, Count of Paris and Duke of the Franks, Duc des Francs, as king of a unified Francia, Paris gradually became the largest and most prosperous city in France. Paris is located in northern central France, in a north-bending arc of the river Seine whose crest includes two islands, the Île Saint-Louis and the larger Île de la Cité, which form the oldest part of the city. The river's mouth on the English Channel, La Manche, is about 233 miles, 375 kilometers, downstream from the city. The city is spread widely on both banks of the river. Overall, the city is relatively flat, and the lowest point is 35 meters, 115 feet, above sea level. Paris has several prominent hills, the highest of which is Montmartre at 130 meters, 427 feet. Excluding the outlying parks of Bois de Boulogne and Bois de Vincennes, Paris covers an oval measuring about 87 square kilometers, 34 square miles, in area, enclosed by the 35 kilometers, 22 miles, ring road, the Boulevard Périphérique. The city's last major annexation of outlying territories in 1860 not only gave it its modern form but also created the 20 clockwise spiraling arrondissements, municipal boroughs. From the 1860 area of 78 square kilometers, 30 square miles, the city limits were expanded marginally to 86.9 square kilometers, 33.6 square miles, in the 1920s. In 1929, the Bois de Boulogne and Bois de Vincennes forest parks were officially annexed to the city, bringing its area to about 105 square kilometers, 41 square miles. 107, the metropolitan area of the city is 2,300 square kilometers, 890 square miles. Measured from the point zero in front of its Notre Dame Cathedral, Paris by road is 450 kilometers, 280 miles, southeast of London, 287 kilometers, 178 miles, south of Calais, 305 kilometers, 190 miles, southwest of Brussels, 774 kilometers, 481 miles, north of Marseille, 385 kilometers, 239 miles, northeast of Nantes, and 135 kilometers, 84 miles.
Thank you for your support. Please subscribe to our channel and activate the bell for more content.